Well, let's see if we can also bring you some more figures about what's playing out and make sense of it. Well, Ayo, where are you?
Yes, Chamberlain, we have our guy here, Babajide Ogunsanwo, who is going to take us through some of these figures. The first symptom happened in December 12 last year, but so far, let's begin from Nigeria.
So let's begin with what is happening currently, why Nigerians are concerned, and that's because we've seen the updated numbers from the NCDC. They say there are 65 cases that we've seen so far since the outbreak has started. But here's why a lot of people are concerned. If we look at it from a regional perspective, here's what you'll find. There are two regions that have seen no cases yet, the Northwest and the Southeast. Right now, over 70% of the cases are concentrated here in the Southwest, where we have 50 cases. We have 11 cases in the North Central, specifically in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. In the South, we have 2 cases, Rivers and Edo. And there are concerns of the new 2 cases that have been confirmed in Bauchi. And here's why. In Bauchi State, Bauchi is one of the states that has the highest poverty rate in Nigeria, 84% poverty rate. So it's important that the virus, as much as possible, we find a solution to minimize the spread. But we also need to make sure that the virus doesn't get into rural communities and communities that have high poverty rates. What we are concerned about is we have more cases in Cameroon than in Nigeria. So there are over 70 cases in Cameroon. We see the closed borders between Cameroon and the northeastern region and possibly the southeast. So it's important that while we are containing the virus within the country, it's important that we don't let anything slip through our borders.
And you also talked about some occurrences in outside of Nigeria the other time, some other information that you wanted to give us.
I tell people that there are 2 viruses we face today. First is we have the coronavirus that has killed 1 person, and then we have the fear virus that is about to kill 100 million adults Nigerians. And here's why a lot of Nigerians are concerned. We remember how this all started. Wuhan, China. The first case is traced to 17th November last year. Today, China has 82,000 plus cases. Then we look at the case of the US. Also, they had their first case around the 20th of January. Today, the US has over 70,000 cases. The first case in Spain, reported 31st January, Spain now has over 47,000 cases. The first case reported in Italy, 31st of January, Italy now has over 74,000 cases. And just before you run off, Nigeria reported our first case, 27, 28 of the month. We still only have 65 cases.
I know you're gonna take us through a few other things, but let's just take a quick break. We'll be right back to conclude. Babajide Ogunsanwo is still here with us, and we are taking a look at some figures about COVID-19 so far in Nigeria, 65 cases yesterday.
Before we close, we're African, so we need to look at what is happening in Africa. As of last night, Africa has 2,700 cases. But here's why we should be bothered. There are only about 5 countries that account for half of these cases. South Africa, 709 cases, tops the number of cases in Africa. Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Now, these are the 5 countries that account for half of the 2,700 cases we have in Africa. But here's what we need to see. Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. These are countries in Northern Africa. So we see a lot of the virus concentrated in Northern Africa, not so much concentration of the virus in the southern region of Africa. Today, we've seen the updated numbers, 65 cases in Nigeria, but there are concerns that are these numbers of viruses that we've seen the NCDC reveal, are they the only numbers? South Africa presently is testing 15,000 people every day. As of 2 days ago, the NCDC had only screened 200 Nigerians. So there are concerns that we need to increase the number of people that are screened based on the new test kits that are coming to be able to see if there are cases that have been unidentified at the moment. But speaking about other things outside Africa, we need to look at the fatality rates. And if we look at 5,000 cases, we see that some countries have seen a lot of concentration of this virus. China, Italy, USA, among the countries that have seen over 5,000 cases. In all, we've seen that there's no African country that is concentrated with those 5,000 cases that have been reported by the World Health Organization. We indeed hope that these cases will reduce and the number of deaths from these cases will also end.
And this is the countries with the lowest fatality rate?
So there's some hope. South Africa, 709 cases, no single fatality. Russia, Qatar, Armenia, over 500 cases, no fatality. So Nigeria shouldn't be concerned because the evidence from the World Health Organization shows that there's a 96% chance that even if you do get the virus, you have a 96% chance of surviving. And that is the hope, to make sure that we keep reducing the fatality rate and then we can kill that fear virus, which is which people are bothered about. Even some people are more bothered about the fear virus than the coronavirus. The fear of corona is quite dangerous.
And I think, you know, really, that should be the cheering news that many of us should be championing right now. Rather than spread fear, we should be spreading more of hope, because it's not as fatal as people fear.
Yes, it's a dangerous disease, as what I would say. It's a dangerous disease, but it's not a deadly disease. It's a dangerous disease. There are few people that have died globally based on this disease. As long as we're able to make sure that people prevent, take care of their hygiene, washing their hands, self-isolating, doing the basics, and making sure that you self-quarantine if you do have the virus. But again, the information is you have a high probability of survival even if you do catch the virus.
Well, Babajide Ogunsanwo, our Channels TV data analyst, thank you so much for your time.
The pleasure is always mine.
Well, that's the show today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Makinde. It's back to you guys.
Well, yes, indeed. That's the show as well today. Thank you all. And don't forget to wash your hands above all else. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
And I'm Kayode Okikiolu. Have a great day ahead.